Social Security as an asset class. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Hear ye. Do-do-do-do-do-do. The Squire is talking. Squire? Is that what I am? Squire? I don't know what I am. Let's look at this. Something I've been thinking about. I've had this question quite a bit. Something I've been thinking about a little bit, and I came across an article in Horse's Mouth talking about this as well. This is from 2023, the newsletter. It's very interesting to me. So I'm going to give you an example of what we got going on right here, and we'll reference what Horse's Mouth said here as well, which is pretty interesting. So we got a portfolio of the 500,000 schmackaroonies, all right? We're going to have 250,000 in bonds and 250,000 in stocks, all right? So now our Social Security, the husband's PIA is $3,500. Again, that's his primary insurance amount, the amount he gets at what? At what? His FRA, full retirement age, we'll just say 67. Wife has got a PIA of $1,800 a month. All right, so right now, between them, they got $5,300 a month in just cash money from Social Security. All right. Now we have a life expectancy of for the husband 85 and the wife at 95. So we know what's going to happen is when he dies, she'll lose this and she'll instead get that, if that makes sense. All right. So she'll have, I mean, hell, what's that? 28 years of getting 1,800. No, not 28 years. She'll have 18 years of getting $1,800 a month, and then 10 years of getting $3,500 a month without adjusting for inflation. We're just not adjusting for inflation here. All right. Now, what that means with adjusted for inflation, and I'm using a 2.4. What are we using for a cost of living? I think it's 2.4. I can't remember. Right, whatever. We're going to use a 2.4% cost of living, essentially. That's going to give us a present value of that payment of $1,776,000. That ain't too shabby, my friends. Now that would be similar to what the stupid Fidelity study says. You need $356,000 in order to pay for your health insurance, and that doesn't include Medicare, or it doesn't include long-term care. You ever see that study? You need $358,000 to cover your health care when you're 65, and that doesn't include long-term care. Oh my goodness. Well, that's just the present value of future payments. It's stupid. Well, we're doing the same here with Social Security. We're saying our present value of all these future payments adjusted with a COLA for this many years is $1.776 million. That's no joke, man. That's a lot of flipping money. That's just a fact, Jack. Now, if we reduce their life expectancy, he's going to go down to 84 and she'll go to 87. The present value drops by $450,000. All right. So the longer you live, the more money you get from Social Security. That's just a fact. Of course, the longer you live, the less you want to take it early, the more you want to take it later. But we're not going to talk about it here necessarily right now. So this is the amount of money we'll get in spending. Now, we don't get it in one fell swoop. We don't get it in a lump sum. There's nothing to leave. But this is the amount of money we'll be able to spend over the course of our lives. All right. Now, how do you deal with that with this right here? A lot of people would say Social Security is like a bond. So if you factor in Social Security like a bond, let's just say for simplicity, it's $1 million. You'll have $1.25 million in the bond side and only $250,000 on the stock side. I don't like that. So why does Social Security have to be a bond necessarily? Why does it got to be a bond? Well, because it's guaranteed. Okay. But guaranteed for what? You're not getting your principal. There's no principal in Social Security. You're just guaranteed for the income. So, I mean, with a bond, you're getting your principal back. With the income, you're not getting the principal, you're just getting the income. But you know what else is not quite guaranteed, but has similar guarantees or pretty doggone close? It'll be dividend stocks that also grow. Bonds are fixed income, they don't grow. Dividend stocks grow. Not all the time. There'll be years where they don't. We can look at 2008, but generally speaking, if the company doesn't go bankrupt, their dividends grow. Now they could, I'm telling you, many stocks will reduce their dividends, but you're still getting a dividend. You're still getting it, if that makes sense. So the dividends will grow, most likely, until it doesn't grow. And we'll look at an example. Let's just look at S&P 500. Let's take a look right now. Let's see what it got. Look at that 10-year bond, baby. Look at that. That is what I'm talking about. Down to 4.2. You'd love to see that. Inflation's running rampant. It's, not according to the bond market, just not. So let's type in VFINX VFINX. That's Vanguard S&P 500. We're going to click this guy right here. And we're going to go down to historical data, and we're going to go to dividends. We're going to go to not historical prices. We're going to go to dividends right there, and we're going to go back. We're going to start in I'll just say 1990, and we'll just go like this, and we'll go to quarterly, monthly, and let's see what we got here. All right, so we're going to go all the way back. We're going to go back, keep going back. 63 cents a share, 61. So I wish I could just do it by December. I'm sure I could do a quick spreadsheet, but I don't feel like it. So we got 63 cents a share in 1990, 61 cents a share in 1991, 46 cents a share in 1992, 47 cents a share in 1993, 51 1994, 56 95, 62 in 1996, 51 in 1997, 52 in 1998, 41. So it didn't do much in that decade, that's for sure. So at the end of right here, we're at 38 cents a share dividends. So let's go 42, 47, 83, 60 cents, 65, 75, I'm sure it got cut, 70, 65, 45, 50 basically, 65, 90 cents a share, 87 cents a share, 98 cents a share. Now we're going to the bucks. All right, so now so as we go up to here, we're at $1.56 right there. If we even go back further than that, because S&P 500 goes back to 1973, if you can believe that. 73 or 75? I can't remember. Can't go back beyond 1980. All right, so we're going to go 1980. And let's see what's doing that. Remember, the dividend has been reduced, but again, yeah, look at this. This is going back to, can I not do 1980? Yeah, I thought it did. Apply. I guess it doesn't go all that far back. Not go back to 1980? Should. There we go. Look, 35 cents a share. So, over the course of my lifetime, I was born in 1970. So, 40 of the 53 years I've been around, it went from 35 cents a share all the way up to $1.60 a share. So that's a growing dividend. All right, that's just a fact. Now there's been going back and forth, but it's always been the trajectory has been like that. Not all the time every year, I grant you. But what does a bond do? A bond's just fixed. It doesn't change at all until the bond matures. Then you can buy whatever the interest rate says out there. But if you bought a bond in 1980 and it matured 10 years later, what are you getting? You're getting a hell of a lot lower of an interest rate. That's called reinvestment risk, which is what I'll be talking about in my soon-to-be produced course on investing. So your fixed income was fixed, but kept going down. And you didn't get any capital appreciation on your bond because your bond matured at par, which is basically $100. You bought it at $100, matured at $100. So your fixed income was fixed, and then you reinvested the bond, you reinvested at a lower interest rate. It's literally just that simple. So do you look at Social Security as a stock or a bond, given that Social Security has an income stream that pays like a bond? It's essentially, it's guaranteed. I can't guarantee a bond is guaranteed, but if it's a government bond, it is. So Social Security is a government bond in terms of guarantee the income without the principal that matures, but it's like a dividend stock that is growing, essentially keeping up with inflation. Again, not all dividend stocks keep up, I grant you, but by and large, you can expect in a 10 to 20 to 30 year time frame that the dividends are getting paid now in a broad-based portfolio will be higher than they got. The dividends you get paid in 20 to 30 years will be higher than they are now. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. Could be wrong. I don't know. So do you look at this like a bond or a stock? A lot of people think it's like a bond, and I just disagree with that 100%. I actually, what I would see, this is where it gets a little bit challenging here because we need to have some cash here on the side. So what I would do is I'd do like 50-50. I'd say this is basically 50-50, right? Stocks and bonds is what for me. I'd say it's basically, it serves a stock with increasing dividends and it serves a bond with guaranteed cash flows. 100%. I think that works just fine. You're not going to get any appreciation in it like a bond, but you're not going to get a downside like a stock either, potentially. And of course, there's no principal. to cash like a bond. So I think it's more of like a bond 50-50. But what this does, though, it allows us to say we can have some more money in cash because this will replace some of that, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Allows you to be a little bit more heavy on cash. And now the fact cash is paying so good, it's just, I tell you, man, that's market. I don't understand these guys say it's market timing. Readjusting one's portfolio is not market timing. Market timing is like, man, I think that's the weirdest thing to me. Market timing is readjusting your portfolio. No, it's not. Market timing is when you say, look, man, Bitcoin's hot. I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. Or Bitcoin's low. I'm going to buy some Bitcoin, and putting a significant portion of your portfolio into that. Market timing is like, look, man, I got, $100,000 on a CD that just matured. I'm going to, here's what I think is going to be good for the next 2 to 3 years. Plastics. That's market timing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's speculative. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. Market timing is not readjusting your portfolio to say, hey, it's okay to take less risk in stocks and more risk in bonds, given that bonds are paying more or cash is paying more, and stocks inherently, when cash pays better, inherently have harder upside. Why? Because the alternative is so much more valuable. This isn't market timing. It's weird. I get all these comments. Oh, this guy's market timing. That never ends well, one guy posted. Like, what are you talking about? It's the weirdest thing, man. Market timing is literally chasing yesterday's hot stocks, 100%. You can market time, say the stocks or the mutual fund, whatever, or you're going to buy in, I don't know, freaking ESG stocks, because everyone's talking about ESG stocks, so I'm going to be in front of ESG. Or everyone's talking about new Tesla. I want to buy Tesla because they're rolling out some Elon Musk engraved freaking who knows. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay. I mean, if you can do it, I have no qualm with that. If you're putting all your portfolio in that, that's market timing. If you're just reallocating or buying taking a flyer, man, that's not market timing. Just don't listen to these idiots. It's okay to readjust your portfolio to take advantage of the present situation. So for me, if I'm looking at Social Security as part of my asset allocation, that would allow me to have less in here and more in cash. Now, again, that will change. It's market timing, damn right. It'll change once the cash doesn't pay as well. And we still got inflation at 3.1 that came in. That's 12 months for a 12-month. This last couple quarters have been low, dude. But it's because the Fed is raising the interest rates. Oh, my goodness. I didn't want to do another video on inflation today because the CPI numbers come out, because I'm going to say the same thing over and over and over again. And frankly, it bores me. Is that the inflation is everywhere and always a energy problem. The higher the cost of energy, the more the inflation. It's just all there is to it. Energy has dropped and inflation has dropped. Everyone's wants to say it's because the Fed's tightening the M2 money supply, the Fed's raising rates. It has a little bit to do with that, but it's just I guarantee if the Fed was tightening the money supply, M2, if the Fed was raising interest rates and freaking Ukraine invaded Russia, whatever the hell, I guarantee inflation would be through the roof regardless. How do we know that? Because we can look at what happened in the 70s. The Federal Reserve was certainly not tightening, was certainly raising interest rates, and yet we still had what? Huge inflation. Why? Because of the price of oil. Oh my goodness, we're going to run out of oil. Oh, because of the price of natural gas. We're going to run out of natural gas. That's why we went to coal. We went to coal in the 70s because we're running out of oil. Oh my goodness, peak oil. We're global cooling. Oh, that's not true. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's absolutely true. Scientific American and many other mags talked about global cooling. Stop. And then we're running out of natural gas until my man George Mitchell, not the idiot senator, the good George Mitchell from Tejas, said, I wonder if we can get access to the oil that's in the shale with drilling sideways as opposed to vertical. I wonder if we could do that. And lo and behold, we have hydraulic fracturing, which gave us access to natural gas in untold quantities of the fossil fuels that we need. Now, I tell you, man, I wish we didn't have to use these fossil fuels to run our economy. I wish we weren't idiotic and would build nuclear power like crazy, but we will. Ultimately, it's going to happen. But the last 30 years, we've just been inundated with idiots from the Greens saying, oh my goodness, nuclear power is so bad. The Simpsons with their stupid 4-eye fish, like nuclear power is horrible. When nuclear power is the safest and the cleanest energy solution there is, bar flipping none. And I just read today, Illinois just passed. No one's going to build anything because Illinois is so scoundrels, their government just passed the allowing of small nuclear reactors, SMR, small modular reactors, I think what SMRs. They just allowed that. In Illinois, not a red state, they just allowed to pass to build SMR, small modular reactors, I think that's what it's called. Now, again, well, I think that's going to, will anyone rush out there and start building them? No, because the regulation is insane and whatnot. But that's the way it's going, dude. We're going to get nuclear. It's coming. And when it does, we're going to have an abundance of electricity. Again, this is just electricity. Nuclear does not run transportation, and we got diesel engines for that, for sure. But at the end of the day, your electricity, these lights, this freaking YouTube thing runs on electricity. And electricity is generated, what, from solar panels? No, not at all. A little bit, a tiny fraction. From wind turbines, from hydro, I mean, you can generate some from hydro, but it's maxed out as it is. Electricity is generated from good old-fashioned freaking hydrocarbons, fossil fuels. You put a limit on your ability to get hydrocarbons, fossil fuels. You put a limit on your ability to have a high, to keep your inflation low. It's just a fact, Jack. With that said, high inflation led to higher Social Security, 100%. So anyway, this is what I would suggest. If you're looking at Social Security as an asset class, it just put a little bit more money in cash because Social Security is a complement to these two guys. Let me tell you what you think. I'll do your thoughts. God bless. We'll see you guys.